the easiest route would have been to go to an employee type of channel firm, get some type of salary or base, and make that transition, have some benefits, and be tied pretty close to the hip to that organization. So that option was on the table, but being that I covered the independent broker dealer channel and a few of the RIAs in town, I'd almost seen too much. So I didn't. If I thought I was going to move to the independent route at some point, and if I thought that RIA or that type of structure was attractive for the future, it was really hard for me to take a step back and go to the employee channel route. And because we had saved for so many years, probably wasn't the best option for me at that point. Now, if someone was moving to a new town and they had no change in their pocket and they needed to support a family, I think those are some great options out there in the employee channel. Wasn't for me. So then where I landed next was I got to buy revenue. I got to buy revenue. I have to replace my paycheck. But I was always very cautious because these advisors that are close to me, they are essentially the ones that I need to be talking to, but I didn't want to interrupt my day job. And because what if something didn't work out? What if I was playing for two teams at one time, my wholesaling firm, as well as talking to advisors? So I was very cautious around having that conversation. But I would say to other wholesalers, be open and share to advisors that you're interested. Because I've had a couple of conversations after I made the move where they said, Ross, I had no idea you were thinking about making a move. Why didn't you let us know? And you're really guarded in some of those conversations because they are your clients, they are your income at that component, and you don't want to be on two teams at once. From a feeling, but kind of the moral side of thing, I felt like I had the wholesaler badge on for that firm, and it was incorrect to kind of flip the other side and have a different conversation. But you can. I think you can be more open. Advisors want to get to know you. You should share what you desire and want to do. And then the last option I came to because I was my current firm and the route I went. The reason I didn't buy revenue is because I came down to two opportunities in the last couple of years. One, I was outbid. So I got to the finish line. There's a great advisor here in town. They were selling their book of business. They wanted, someone to come in and be their succession plan. And I got outbid by a bigger name, a bigger check, and a little bit more continuity. And just was not the route that was for me. But not wasted, but that took about a year's time. And so then I moved on to the next opportunity where it got really close to the finish line to acquire an advisor's book of business. And I'm very thankful for you, Corey, and all the folks that were, active in that conversation to help me get to that finish line. But the valuation came back about 30% higher than we'd anticipated. From the P&L standpoint, it almost looked like add on the financing cost and paying the advisor, almost a cash losing proposition for a couple of years. And I was okay to, not make a lot for a couple of years, but going into the negative seemed really challenging. So then we started talking about earnouts, and just based on the age of the advisor and the mix of the practice, a 5 or 10 year earnout just didn't seem possible. And so at that point, I had saved a lot and had decided, you know what, I want to do this. I just need to rip off that Band-Aid. And so I started looking at more qualitative factors. Were there teams out there that I could link into, that I could build my own business within a greater architecture, build a book of business versus building a business.